Welcome back to the 305 Gridiron. On today's show, we are giving you our rookie preview and predictions for all 133 rookies that we have on our team. It's a lot of rookies. This will be a decently long show, but you are going to stay for the entire thing because it's really the most interesting topic of the offseason, and that's not even a joke, is it? Ladies and gentlemen and Dolphins across the nation, welcome back to the 305 Gridiron. I am your host, Anthony Pinzone. Alongside me, I got my boy Josh, a.k.a. Aqua Ace, ready to break down our rookie preview. Now, I was jokingly said 133 draft picks, Josh, but in reality, we had 13 draft picks and 11 UDFAs.
Wild.
Unfortunately, one of those UDFAs was forced to retire due to injury, so we have 10 UDFAs, actually. That's still 23 people to talk about, which is an enormous amount of people. Now, we were obviously live for the draft. We did our live reactions to round one. Later, after the draft ended, we did our kind of raw reactions to the entire draft in general. And now we get a chance. We've had about a little less than a month to sit on it and think about these rookies, think about how they fit into the roster, think about how they fit into the scheme. And just think about where their skill set potentially fits in and where they could be this season. I don't think it's going out on a limb to say that the rookies are going to play a lot this year.
No, I think this is probably going to be, at least in my opinion, one of, if not the number one class in the NFL for playing time for rookies. If I had to put an opinion on it this early in the offseason.
Rubber stamp that shit. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I would actually be surprised if we are not the team with the most rookie playing time.
And that should tell you everything you need to know, right? If we're if we're shocked that we're not,
I do think, and we're going to talk, we just got done talking schedule, our schedule and our predictions for the season. I just think that the new identity of the team, the size, toughness, versatility, like this new going away from the Corvette more towards the Jeep using that, or away from the Ferrari, whatever the analogy was that we used all last season. I think that is going to put us into a position more often than not to surprise teams that we're not supposed to beat.
Yeah, and it's an interesting conversation, right? Because yes, I agree with you. Teams aren't going to know how to plan for us because we're going to be starting so many rookies and there's not a lot of NFL film. But on the flip side, it is such a huge jump to go from college to the pros, no matter where you played, whether you were at Alabama or whether you were at San Diego State. It's hard for everyone. And, I think I say, unlike your hot take in the group chat where you think we're going to win a certain amount of games, I think that's going to be the reason in year one, specifically with so many rookies and so much change and so much turnover and a whole new front office and coach. We're going to struggle. It's going to be butt ugly for a long time. And I think the difference between year one and year two is going to be so palatable that we're going to think that none of these guys are on the team this year as opposed to next year because they're going to be so much more talented.
And I do think they'll be fun to watch. I mean, there's a reason, I don't watch any basketball, but I do know that college basketball is way more popular than the NBA. And there's a reason for that, right? Like there's there never used to be money involved. There is now. But before money was involved in college, it was just playing for the love of the game and, the passion. And I think that's what we'll get with, 23 guys trying to make the team here. Now, obviously, the guys who are higher draft picks have a much higher chance of making the team, but they're still not guaranteed. We have seen second and third and fourth round picks cut on the first round of cuts before. So, you still have to come in and you have to work and you have to be a leader. And I think last thing I'll say on the identity change is that's the thing that I love the most is that we're just targeting good guys.
Yeah.
Right.
There's guys that love football. Right.
Yeah.
big, huge, mammoth individuals who are
And
just
leaders.
yeah.
Just people who lead by example. Like
Mhm.
I'd be shocked if any of these guys have a Tyreek Hill-esque off the field issue before the season starts.
Yeah.
You know,
Where we understand that arrest. I don't want to speak for you, but I don't
no, I
want.
wasn't even talking about the arrest, but the
Oh,
other
okay.
stuff,
Oh, like the
the
37
baby
babies.
mama stuff, and the
Yeah.
cheating on the wife, and the all the other stuff that he had going on. The arrest was unlawful, it seems.
Yeah, it was absolute horseshit.
Based on what we know about it.
Yeah, I just didn't want fans to jump down your throat for
That's
saying,
a
yeah,
good call.
yeah.
So we added a lot of positions, man. Like
Mhm.
we added potentially early contributors at offensive tackle, corner, linebacker, wide receiver, tight end, edge, safety, and interior offensive line. Really, the only positions I didn't mention were running back and quarterback.
Mhm.
There wasn't a quarterback in this draft really worth adding. We added Mark Gronowski as a UDFA. I think a lot of the other quarterbacks that you and I loved during the pre-draft process, they kind of got taken away earlier than I thought they would.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I do think the Browns trading up to take Taylon Green, I think it was the 5th or 6th round.
Yeah.
Yep. That was just a few picks before us. I am interested. I'm very intrigued as to whether or not Miami would have pulled the trigger on that, but didn't get a chance. So the Browns add yet another quarterback to their monstrosity of a quarterback.
What did they have, like 6 of them on the roster?
Something like that, yeah.
I took a stab in not in our dynasty league, but I'm in a second dynasty league, and I took a stab on somebody who dropped Deshaun Watson, and I read that maybe he was getting first team reps, so I just hopefully it works out. I did
that in hours, but he looks like shit so far, so maybe cutting that guy real soon.
Yeah, did you see, speaking of not Dolphins related, but it was I laughed hysterically, but Kyler Murray in his first 7-on-7 threw like 5 interceptions.
Oh my god. No.
For the Vikings. That was funny.
That's funny. Hey, so year one, man, we have a lot of talent to look at here. Are we going to look at each player pick by pick? Probably not, right? We're just going to go through the questions, or do you?
Yeah. So we're obviously, if you want our opinion on kind of each individual player, go check our shows that we've already covered. This is more of a drafted and undrafted rookie question extravaganza, right? So over unders, who do you think will do X in year one? Who do you think could, stuff like that? This was a fun little exercise to go through.
Before we get into the predictions and the most likelies and the final, all the predictions and the most likelies and all that stuff, I want to go through the list real quick and just tell me starter or not starter, starter or depth.
Okay.
Starter or depth. First round, 11th pick overall, we took Kadyn Proctor, the offensive tackle at Alabama, expected to play left guard. Starter or depth on him?
Starter.
Round 1, pick 30, Chris Johnson, cornerback out of San Diego State.
Starter, out of necessity.
Agreed. On both. Sorry, I didn't actually say what my first.
Well, I kind of figured. I think Kadyn Proctor is probably the easy one to pick there.
Let's talk about that for a sec, though, because Kadyn Proctor, we did get word. I think it's a Joe Rose show, and shout out to Joe Rose for actually pushing on Sully to answer the question, because Sully gave the typical like political or correct answer of like, well, he could play anywhere, and Joe was like, yeah, but where do you see him play?
Kind of pushed him a little bit. I kind of liked it too.
And he said that they're going to start him off at left guard, and they'll see what happens throughout training camp and all that stuff. So right now it's looking like Patrick Paul on left tackle, Kadyn Proctor at left guard. We have center's name I'm forgetting right now.
Aaron
Brewer at center. Right guard, right now it's Jonas Savaiinaea. I think that's an open competition.
Could be Sawyer or Sawyer.
Yeah. I think Sawyer and Savaiinaea are two competing for that, but we have other guards. DJ Campbell we took out of Texas in the 6th round, could surprise. We also picked up a UDFA, Kevin Klein, who could slide in there. So definitely lots of competition there. And speaking of Kevin Klein and another offensive tackle we picked up, right tackle is Austin Jackson right now. I believe that's very much wide open too.
Yeah, and that's actually for Sawyer. I could see him sliding into right tackle or backup right tackle, and Savaiinaea taking and starting at right guard. And if you remember, recently, a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was even early last week, there was a bunch of like coaching interviews, so like offensive line coach, stuff like that. And a lot of people were saying what you and I have been banging on the table for, which is, when you draft a guy that plays exclusively on the right side in college, and then you move him to left guard. We're talking about Sabanaya here. Mm-hmm. It limits his ability to be successful, which is what you and I said when we drafted him. Because you and I said, or at least me, I said, I really like this pick because I think he's going to be a phenomenal right guard because he played right tackle in college. And then what do? We try to galaxy brain this and we put him at left guard. And it just didn't make sense to me.
I think that could totally work if you're putting him next to Teron Armstead, but you weren't. Right. You're putting him next to a guy who's still learning himself in Patrick Paul. He's only in his second year.
Very, very good tackle in Patrick Paul.
Yeah, like he's come into his own, but he doesn't know everything. He's still learning. He's, every day he's picking up new ways to counter the Max Crosbys and shit of the world. So he doesn't exactly have the 13-year presence that like an Armstead or somebody like that had. That could spread it out. But hey, we're going to talk training camp battles later on this summer. I can't wait. I think right guard, right tackle is huge there. Not that we want to hand Caden Proctor a position right off the bat, but I do think he will be handed I'd be surprised if he's not one of the 5 best.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he deserves to be a starter. I think he had that kind of resume in college. And when you draft somebody at number 12, you better start or you fuck something up.
Yeah, by the way, I said pick 11. I obviously meant pick 12. I wrote down the wrong number here. So good job by me. Jacob Rodriguez, starter or depth?
Starter. And key contributor, MVP, rookie defensive player of the year.
Right now I think Our Lads has him listed behind Jordan Brooks. I think him and Jordan Brooks are lining up side by side.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I think that whatchamacallit loses his spot.
What's his name? Oh God, what's his name?
I was gonna have to open up Our Lives just to remember his name.
Not Tolbert. Nope.
I have no idea.
Wow.
How are we even doing a podcast right now?
I don't even know.
It's Dotson. Terrell
Dotson. There we go. That should tell you everything you need to know about Terrell Dotson.
Dotson, a fine depth player, I think. But
yes, I think he actually backs up Rodriguez, in my opinion.
Caleb Douglas,
starter out of necessity. I think he's wide receiver 3 on this team. Now, not as in he's the slot wide receiver. I think he's exclusively an outside wide receiver, but from a hierarchical standpoint, I think he's wide receiver 3.
I'm gonna say depth. I think they're gonna stick with the chalk. I think they're gonna put out Tolbert, Tutu, and Malik Washington.
Okay. Honestly, I can see
first.
That too.
Yeah. He could be the 4th though. I couldn't even tell you a 4th right now.
I don't think we have. Caleb Douglas. It's one of Washington or Douglas, depending on how you see him, right?
Yeah. So looking at Our Lads, they have 3 wide receiver 4, 5, and 6 are all rookies: Bell, Douglas, and Coleman.
Yeah. And I'll be honest. We'll get to him in a second. Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Will Kaczmarek, the tight end out of Ohio.
Yeah. I mean, I think he sees a lot of playing time, but I think he's a backup.
Is that school right? I don't think that school is right. Ohio State. Sorry.
Ohio State. I got you.
Yeah. What'd you say? Starter or depth?
Oh, depth. I think he sees significant playing time in 22 personnel, or for those of you that aren't familiar with the lingo, 2 tight end sets, and comes in and like goal line as an extra blocker and stuff. So he'll see significant amount of time, but depth.
I think he'll start at fullback.
Okay. Well, we just signed one, didn't we? A little while ago.
I don't think so. Or if we did, I didn't put it on the website, and I need to get to that. But yeah, I honestly think because Slowick is still here, and he runs the same offense as the 49ers, which does actually use a lead blocker as a fullback.
True.
So I think he'll start at fullback, and I agree he'll be depth at tight end. I do think there's a competition between the blockers, though. I think him and we took the kid out of Green Bay, Ben Sims.
Sims.
Yeah. I think him and Ben Sims are potentially playing for that dual role.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I have a soft spot for Will Kaczmarek. I think this dude, and I said it when we drafted him or on our recap show, I think he doesn't do a lot of things elite, which is why he was drafted in round 3. But I think he is an elite block. I mean, like day 1 is an elite blocker. So
I hope so.
I'm very excited to see him and see how that transition goes.
Wide receiver Chris Bell.
This one's tricky, and I'm not trying to play semantics here with you, but like he's injured.
Chris Bell healthy.
Healthy Chris Bell, I think he's wide receiver 1 on this team.
I wouldn't go that far, but I do agree as a starter.
That is less of a boon for him and more of an indictment of our wide receiver room, if I'm being honest. Right?
I think Tolbert's good though.
Yeah, Tolbert's good.
I don't know if he's wide receiver 1 good. You're right. I mean, but
right. I mean, I think Chris Bell would have been drafted late first round, early second round if he was healthy, and we got him. We got him in round 3, and I think
we already know almost for sure he's not going to start the season. I think Eric Sullivan said that they expect him to play meaningful snaps this year.
Yeah.
He wouldn't commit to the beginning of the season. So Chris Bell, current injury status, you have him as obviously as depth. Yeah. I mean, because we don't have a choice.
I think honestly, I could see a scenario in which he's put on IR for the first 6 weeks.
Just second half of the year, is he starting? After an injury, he hasn't played at all.
No.
Is he going to pop right back in?
I don't think so. No, okay. I think this is one of those, because of the year that we have and all of the rookies, and this is a foundational year, and we're trying to, rebuild a lot of things. I think they don't have to rush him back. I think if this was a year in which we were making a push, or we thought we were a couple players away, or we just got off of a really good season and we're coming in, I think they would push him back, or he would push himself back. But dude, take your time, get right, because you could be on this team for the next decade as a 6'3", 220-pound wide receiver.
That's the thing, dude. It's hard to surpass a savvy veteran receiver if you don't have like elite physical tools. And I know Chris Bell has really, really good physical tools, but you're coming off an injury. So, but that's why I think it's going to be so tough for Caleb Douglas there. Like Tutu and Jalen and Malik have all had years of route tree practice and all this other how to get out of a press coverage and all these other like just little nuanced things that veteran receivers have. If like you're a third or later receiver and you break the starting lineup week 1, I'm excited.
Well, what Caleb Douglas brings that none of them bring is height and speed. So it's one of those things where, Caleb might be the 4th wide receiver in between the 20s, but once we get into the deep red zone, he's the red zone threat, right?
I just hope he's not another easy E, man.
Oh God, so do
I. Chris Bell, we don't have a choice. I think he would have a better chance to start if he were healthy week 1 than Caleb Douglas does.
Oh, for sure. I'm not trying to wax poetic. I genuinely believe that a healthy Chris Bell is the number 1 wide receiver on this team.
We do have some fans, by the way. I've seen some comments from the people watching the show that Caleb Douglas is a dog.
Yeah,
so he has his fans, man.
I've seen him too, and I've heard people on national media say, they like what they saw and they could see him the transition. I don't know much. I didn't know much about him other than, my analysis of him. I didn't watch a lot of film, and I don't know. I don't know.
That's the most excited I am to be proven wrong.
Me too.
Like if Caleb Douglas proves me wrong, I'll be so pumped.
Yeah, him and Chris Johnson.
Yeah. Everybody loves Chris Johnson.
Everyone loves Chris Johnson. And I'm 50-50. Like, I really like the player. I want him to succeed. I think he's a starter.
But then I look over there and I see San Diego State, and I'm like,
Oh, that's a huge jump. Now, we've seen successful players come from small schools. So that's not what it used to be. It's not the death stamp that it used to be kind of 20 years ago, 10 years ago, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, week 1, the Raiders
go. Yeah. It's gonna be
so luckily for him, that's kind of an easy matchup for him. I mean, they're looking at Jack Beck, Trey Tucker, and Jalen Naylor as their starting 3 at wide receiver.
Yeah. Yikes. Well, it's good for me though in Dynasty because I picked up Beck. But anyways, Kyle
Lewis.
Yeah. I think Kyle Lewis is depth for now in base defense. I think he's a starting big nickel safety linebacker hybrid who will see the field in probably more so than most of our rookies, because he's going to be put into a lot of places, but depth week 1.
I agree. I think that he's kind of like the, Sean Payton calls like he has a joker on offense.
Yeah.
I think Kyle Lewis is the joker on defense. I think they're going to put him at big nickel. They're going to put him at 3 safety sets. They're going to put him at,
in the slot. Yeah.
They're going to put him in a slot. They're going to put 4 or 5 linebacker sets whenever it's a run situation or something like that. Like, he's going to be all over the place.
Mhm.
I would not be shocked if he lines up at edge rusher at some point in time.
Same.
He doesn't have the size really, but like if they need a speed guy to get in there and just cause disruption,
that's the man.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Jacob Rodriguez are going to be one hell of a duo if they pan out. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. No kidding.
I mean, well, what are your thoughts? Depth to start the season? Or do you think he starts? Yeah.
I think he's probably depth all year because I just don't think there's a position for him to start.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, barring injury. Yeah.
Unless he can beat out Trader at safety, but I just think he does so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if we're gonna play big nickel a lot because we want to be more physical, then I guess he'll definitely start at nickel over Jason Marshall.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and Marshall. Oh no, wait. Marshall's the cornerback or the safety? I get him.
Corner.
Yeah, corner. I read something a couple weeks ago. They're putting him exclusively on the outside going forward, so he should not be seeing any. Which is where he played in college. Which is what you and I were saying.
It was weird to see him at nickel last year.
Yeah. So that could bode well for Kyle Lewis if he was to see some starting playing time.
Trey Moore, edge rusher out of Texas.
Oh, this one's tough. You know what? I'm gonna go hot take. I think he starts
over
Uche or whatever the
guy Josh Uche. Yeah.
I think it's Chop on one side, and this is admittedly a bold take. I don't feel overly confident about it. Who are our edges? Do you have it pulled up in front of you?
Yeah, so we have the edge room is going to be one of the most fun training camp battles to talk about because I don't think the starting 2 are solidified in any way, shape, or form. So Chop Robinson, Josh Uche, David Ajabo comes over from Baltimore, and then Trey Moore are the first 4. But we have 6 more on top of that. There are 10 total edge rushers on this roster right now.
Yeah, we don't really need to read all through them, but I think I don't know. What are your thoughts? I'd be curious to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I think he'll start as a depth piece.
Mm-hmm.
But if he can pick up 1 or 2 good pass rushing moves, he'll slide in easy.
Well, yeah, and that's the reason why I have him starting is because he has a really good swim move from college that I saw on film, and he transitions from power to speed very well.
I just think Uche is better than people think, man.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was a hot take. I don't feel overly confident about it because I am actually an Uche fan.
The Chop position's up in the air, in my opinion. Like, I want Chop to succeed. I love Chop. I think he's fun. I think his celebration is awesome. Mm-hmm. And obviously he was a first-round pick, so I definitely want to see him succeed. But
you were like so anti-Chop. It's hilarious.
The productivity's not there, man.
Yeah.
It's just not. Like, it feels so Jalen Phillips to me, the Chop Robinson story so much. It's so far outside of the injuries. But Jalen Phillips, what we saw the first few years before he got injured was this guy can get to the quarterback. He just can't get the quarterback, right? And it's the same thing with Chop. He can get to the quarterback, but he can't get the quarterback. And if you're not getting him, man.
True.
That doesn't always help us.
I guess my hope is that Chop gets better under a new coaching regime and this was no shade on our previous defensive coordinator. I just thought he made some questionable decisions with the positions he put his players in. You know?
I always forget about that. Anthony Weaver only played Chop about a quarter of the time last year, which is absolutely insane.
And so the development time as well, when you're not taking live rounds to the face, but we'll see. Well, hey, you know what? We'll see.
Kevin Coleman Jr., wide receiver out of Missouri, another small Tutu Atwell, like Washington type.
So I am going to cop out and say he's a starter on special teams.
Boo. I'm going to call him depth. I think this is where the roster bubble starts, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
5th round.
Yeah.
Michael Taaffe, the safety out of Texas.
Not practice squad. Depth, for sure.
Me too. He does have he has a good chance to start if he can prove something.
Yeah.
DJ Campbell, the guard out of Texas.
I have no idea why I was about to say practice squad for Michael Taaffe. Because I'm actually a huge Taaffe fan. DJ Campbell, I think he's a depth piece right now. Like offensive lineman 6 or 7.
This one's another one that I think may be. We'll see. I don't know, but a surprise.
I like him coming out
for
of
the
Texas,
right guard spot.
Yeah. No, I would not be surprised one bit if I'm being candid.
And then our 7th-round picks, our only 7th-round picks, Max Llewellyn, the defensive lineman out of Iowa.
Yeah. Was he Iowa or yeah, he was Iowa. I always get him and Kazmarek mixed up from a school standpoint. Everyone seemed to think this was a steal. I don't know if I'm being honest. I mean, I think
I don't. It doesn't have. I don't see the athleticism, man. I don't know what people are on about.
I mean, I'm not talking about just Dolphins fans. I'm talking national media, McShay, those kind of that level of people saying, like, wow, holy crap. Can't believe, he lasted into the 7th round.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about that either. So I missed one here. Yeah. And I have the positions a little funky too. Don't put together show notes at 11:30 at night. It's the moral of the story of putting this together. So tight end Sidu Traore, very much a what do you call it? A work in progress. It's very raw. It's a raw talent. I mean, it is a depth player through and through to me. I don't know about
a depth player through and through, but I also wouldn't. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he was the first one to catch a touchdown or something. You know what I mean? Like,
his size excites me, dude. 6'4",
right, and he's athletic as shit. He's one of those international roster spots or whatever. There's a term. There's a name for it.
He's an international pathway player.
Pathway player. Thank you. And so honestly, I would be shocked if he's even on the main roster this year in year 1. I think come year 2, if he continues to progress and show his athleticism, I think he could make the roster, but I'd be shocked if he's on day one roster.
Yeah, so he doesn't count towards the 90-man roster. If he were to make the active roster, he would count towards the active roster. At practice squad, I don't think he counts towards. So they could keep him on the practice squad for free, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of hope he makes it, though.
I mean, look, I didn't know much about him until I went back and watched some highlights and stuff, and his athleticism jumps off the page. Right, I don't know how good he is as a tight end, but
I mean, he's the first international pathways player drafted, and at least he's actually played fucking football. Philly,
that's fair.
Philly,
yeah.
Philly takes an international pathway player who's never played a down of football in his life.
Yeah, he's a rugby player or something, right?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I think so.
How do you draft somebody who hasn't?
Yeah, well, we had one for a while that just hung around year over year over year. It was from Brazil. He was some offensive tackle or offensive guard or something, and never suited up. So
I'm gonna read through the UDFAs real quick because I know we did. I don't believe we covered them on a draft. If we did, I don't care. Mark Gronowski, quarterback out of Iowa. Renee Conga, defensive tackle out of Louisville. Spoiler, you get more of him later. Mason Rager, the linebacker out of Wisconsin. Kevin Klein, the offensive tackle out of Boston College. Anthony Hankerson, running back out of Oregon State. Le'Veon Moss, the running back out of Texas A&M, unfortunately forced to retire due to injury. That sucks because we were kind of excited for him. Lewis Moore, the safety out of Indiana. Jim Boniface, the center out of Iowa State. Donovan McCulley, wide receiver out of Indiana. Romello Brinson, wide receiver out of SMU. And then round it all up with Rodney McGraw, edge rusher out of Western Michigan.
Yep. Yeah, and interesting fact, Donovan McCulley was a quarterback turned wide receiver.
Yes, that's right. I meant to put that on here. Gosh. All right, let's get into our class-wide predictions first here. Yes. I know we're 30 minutes into the show. First.
That's okay. Dude, these are on cruise control, man. These are fun. I'm really excited about these.
All right, so these are kind of against the betting odds. Over under 26.5 total rookie starts. So 23 rookies, 26.5 starts.
Yeah, I will take the over on this. For the simple fact that we need the rookies to play because 63 or 64% of our total cap this year is allocated to players that are not on the team anymore. Right. So our rookies are going to play regardless of how good or bad they are because we just need butts in the seats. I think Proctor starting all year and not getting injured, I think really helps push that. I think if he fluctuates in and out of the starting lineup, it gets real close to that 26.5. But I'll take.
You got to figure Proctor plays at least 15 games, barring injury. I think Chris Johnson, same thing. So I would definitely take the over on this for sure.
Yep. And I think Jacob Rodriguez starts most of the games. I think Douglas starts half the games, to be conservative,
Rookies to play 10 plus games. We got the over under set at 7.5.
Whew. What was it? Over 7.5?
7.5 is the over under.
2, 3, and go first because I don't know.
I'm going under on this one. I
Yeah.
don't think they're going to have 8 rookies who play 10 games this year.
Are we? Are we counting special teams or not special, or just offense and defense? Special teams is
you can count special teams, sure.
I'll take the over.
Yeah, I'd be a little surprised.
Yeah,
and then I think we're gonna have the highest number of rookie games. I mean, we already mentioned that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But 80 sounds like 80 games sounds like a lot.
Well, it's 8 players playing 10 or more games.
Yeah,
right?
So that's 80 games
total. Yeah, okay. I see what you mean.
Total rookie touchdowns at 5.5. Are you can take the over or the under on this one?
I'll take the under, sadly.
I think the defense really would have to play a role in this for this to be successful. Because Achan's going to score most of the touchdowns.
Yeah, Willis is going to score most of those touchdowns. Greg Dulcich is going to get a massive influx in targets and share volume.
Could I see whatever rookie wide receiver ends up playing scoring 6 touchdowns? Sure. I just don't think it's likely. Yeah. I don't think we're going to be – we have done everything this offseason to build this team up as a rushing team.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see –
Yeah. Now
we don't have a running back. There's no rookie running back. So
right.
I don't see the opportunity unless the defense gets heavily involved in the scoring.
Right. And, if Chris Johnson, Jacob Rodriguez, and Kyle Lewis return one for a touchdown on defense,
Yeah. Total rookie sacks 6.5.
Yeah. I'm going to hot take here. I'm taking the over. Yeah. I think between Kyle Lewis, Trey Moore, Rodriguez, who lived in the backfield in college with his IQ. Michael Taaffe might get a couple sacks. Not saying he will. Chris Johnson with his speed and length could disrupt and get a sack or two. I think I take the over.
I'm trying to look up real quick how many sacks we had last year. To be quite honest,
hard to use that number because it's a whole different defense.
I know, but I just kind of wanted to see
we were low on the list. I think we were
defense sacks. We had 39.
Mm-hmm.
39 total sacks. The leading sacker had 8.5, and that was Bradley Chubb, who now plays for the Bills, by the way.
Yeah, can't wait.
Fucking hell. What is the over under on this one?
6.5. Mm-hmm. Rookie sacks.
Total rookie sacks. I'll take the over as well. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
This last one on this list, I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Total rookie interceptions over under 3.5.
Go first. I'm curious to see what your thoughts are. I know what I'm taking.
How many interceptions did we have last year? Just give me the stats, bro. This thing doesn't have any stats on it. Oh, here it is. We had 9 total interceptions last year. The leading interceptor was Rasul Douglas with 2. I'm gonna go over.
So am I. I thought that was a hot take. I guess not.
Because I think Kyle Lewis and Jacob Rodriguez are really good pass defenders. And Chris Johnson on the outside is going to get 1 or 2. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it'll be close. It'll be
close. I think it'll be 4. I think it'll probably be 4.
I think
Lewis
in my head,
I
had
5. Rodriguez will get
yeah.
1, and Johnson will get 2.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
I thought that was going to be such a hot take, but no, guess not. We're on the same page. Look at us.
On the same page.
So tell us, fans, guys, ladies, whoever's watching the show, in the comment section, tell us your thoughts. Pick one, pick them all. Total rookies starts over under 26.5. Rookies to play 10 plus games over under 7.5. Total rookie touchdowns over under 5.5. Total rookie sacks 6.5. Total rookie interceptions 3.5. Tell us your thoughts.
You're going to want to tell us your thoughts on this next segment too, because this next segment we're going to do rapid fire most likely to.
Right. Just names, no explanations, right?
You can give a one-liner if you want.
Okay.
Most likely to start week 1 that is not Kadyn Proctor.
Caleb Douglas. Out of necessity.
God. What is happening?
Out of necessity.
What is happening? I feel like mine's a cop out. I went Jacob Rodriguez. I do think he beats out Dodson for
Yeah.
the second linebacker spot. Most likely to surprise fans.
Kyle Lewis.
Ooh.
He's the Swiss Army knife of this defense, and I think fans are going to be really excited.
Yeah, I wonder how many Dolphins fans don't know much about him because we've been high on him for a while now.
Yeah.
I went with Will Kaepernick, the tight end, fullback,
blocker
joker player that doesn't actually catch anything. Blocker extraordinaire. Yeah, I do think he is going to act a lot like a sixth offensive lineman. I think he is filling in for Ingold. Hopefully he's got some wheels because he's going to need to keep up with Achane. I don't think he'll do much in the world of receiving, but I just think that he is going to hit somebody in the Vegas game, week 1.
And we're going to get the ooh.
And fans are going to be like, oh, shit.
Whoa.
That guy's nuts, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You know who he reminds me of the kind of guy that like has the smeared black eye black on and just rips his helmet off, his bloody nose, very like, Brian Urlacher kind of vibes,
I was just going to say Mike Allstott vibes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not saying he's going to be that quality of a player.
No,
just from
Allstott
that
was a great running back too, but yeah.
From that aggression. Most
likely to become a fan favorite.
I mean, I think this one's easy. I think we both matched on this one. I have Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah, Jacob Rodriguez. Yeah. Easy peasy. Linebacker out of Texas Tech with a mustache to kill. Yeah. Awesome.
Whose mentor was Zach Thomas, also from Texas Tech, and Brooks, who's currently his running mate in the linebacker. Like, come on. You couldn't write a better fucking story for a player.
You couldn't. Most likely to score their first rookie touchdown.
I went a little outside the box here. I said Chris Johnson, the cornerback, on a pick 6.
You said Caleb Douglas is most likely to start, but Chris Johnson was most likely to score the first touchdown.
Well, I also think Chris Johnson starts, but
he should.
Right.
I should have put Seydu here. I didn't though.
Because we forgot about him.
Yeah. I put Caleb Douglas here, most likely to score first rookie touchdown.
I think that's the safest bet, right? I think that's the good one because he'll get
unless Chris Bell magically. Like, here's the thing though. If Chris Bell doesn't play till week 8 or whatever, we have a bye week 6. So if they put Chris Bell on IR, he actually only misses 5 games.
True. True.
But if he comes back week 7, week 8, and he scores his first touchdown over Caleb Douglas, oh, poor Caleb Douglas. But
yeah. I mean, we all said it. It's
not going to be good for you.
I mean, look, we all said it. If those 2 wide receivers were drafted in the other spot, we'd have no fucking problem with anything.
I do think he will. He's just going to break free. I mean, he's a burner. He's gonna find a broken coverage somewhere. He's going to score a touchdown. Yeah. Most likely to lead rookies in sacks.
I have Trey Moore.
Yeah, I went Kyle Lewis actually.
I kind of copped out and took the edge.
Yeah, I went with the wild card guy, hoping that they put him in a rushing position.
It's gonna be Michael Taaffe. Watch.
Could you imagine? Best long-term upside.
Yeah, Jacob Rodriguez. I think Jacob Rodriguez is a 10-year-old pro. That's the kind of level that I feel like Jacob Rodriguez is going to get to.
100% agree, but I actually went with Kadyn Proctor because I think he's very much that 13, 14-year offensive lineman.
Yep.
That sticks with us for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Biggest roster bubble, a.k.a. somebody who got drafted but might actually not make the team.
I went Kevin Coleman Jr. for the simple fact that I think Kevin Coleman Jr. in his first year is going to make his impact on special teams, primarily as a returner. I mean, I think he's a slot receiver. I'm very familiar with him. I think he's a very good wide receiver. I just think if with the wide receiver room as it is, with Chris Bell potentially coming back, I just think his impact would be on special teams, and I don't know if he sticks as the returner.
Fair points. I went with Michael Taaffe, actually. I think that there is a lot of competition at the safety position. I think Lonnie Johnson? Let me get his name right. Yeah, I think Lonnie Johnson Jr. and Dante Trader Jr. have the fast track to start. But we also brought in Zane Anderson as a free agent. We brought in Omar Brown as a free agent. And then Lewis Moore as a UDFA. And also Jordan Colbert is still here as well. So he has a wide open path to sticking and playing. But I do think he is one of the lesser athletic profile guys that they took in this draft. and they like him for his leadership skills. We'll see if his athletic profile can carry over to
I like that.
to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely year 2 breakout.
Chris Bell. I thought that one was easy, right? I mean, even if he comes back, I genuinely believe they will slow roll him. He's coming back from a relatively serious injury, especially for a wide receiver of his size and his speed and his kind of elusiveness as a big body wide receiver. I think year 2, we're going to see the tagged late first round type wide receiver that he really was.
I went Chris Johnson. I know that Johnson's likely to start the entire first year, but it's a corner out of a small school, taken in the first round. I know people love him, but I do think that after having 1 year of NFL experience under his belt, he's going to be way better in year 2.
Yeah.
And, that doesn't mean he'll be bad in year 1. I think he could be good in year 1. I think year 2, we're going to start talking about it. He's going to start being in people's conversations who aren't Dolphins fans.
Yeah, I like that. That's actually a really good way of putting a year 2 breakout.
Yeah.
Who are other teams fans going to talk about?
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Most likely to get a second contract.
Yeah. Sorry, I threw this one on as we were talking. I really liked your long-term upside conversation. And so for me, I think a few of these folks will be on this team for quite some time. I think Kadyn Proctor is probably the most likely to get a second contract because I do think he's talented. And if he settles in at left guard with the ability and from what we're hearing, possibility of switching over to right tackle once Austin Jackson's contract is up this year, I think that flexibility, it's too valuable in the NFL.
This is a tough one. I think the easy answer here is Jacob Rodriguez outside of Kadyn Proctor, but I actually think I'm going to go with Chris Bell on this one. If he's as good as everybody says he is and he bounce backs 100%, then we have a potential tier 1 wide receiver on the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're going to probably try to sign him sooner than later.
True. That's a good
round,
point.
Third round pick. He gets, I think, 4 years for third rounders. Yeah. So...
and honestly, not that it matters, not that player comps matter, but Chris Bell, we both talked pre-draft. I had a AJ Brown comp on him. So if he can be anything close to that, I mean, I know AJ Brown gets shit on now because he's taken a half a step back. He's probably going to the Patriots and all this other stuff, but I'd take a prime young AJ Brown any day in this wide receiver room.
Just a couple weeks till we find that out, right? June 1st.
Yep.
Most likely UDFA to make the team.
Yeah, I went Lewis Moore out of Indiana, the safety out of Indiana. I thought Lewis Moore, I had a 5th round grade on him. 6th round grade on him. I think he was a team captain. I think he played something like 42, 43, 44 games like that in college. So he's coming in with a lot of starts. He was a team captain. And I just think our safety room is shoddy at best. So
it's wide open. Yeah, I think that ties in well with my roster bubble prediction of Michael Taaffe.
Yeah.
I went with the center, Jim Boniface. I think that there's not a lot of depth at center. No. We have Aaron Brewer and we have Myers.
Andrew Meyer.
Andrew Meyer.
Mm-hmm. Who I think is a very good player. Yeah.
I know a lot of people love Meyer, but he's now been a backup center for a couple years now.
And he's been injured every year. So, yeah.
And he's injured every year. So I think, Boniface coming in here out of Iowa State. Iowa State is known for having a good offensive line. I do think there's a good chance he can make the team.
Look, I'll take it. I'll take anything at this point, if I'm being honest.
Let's crank it up a notch. Most likely UDFA to make a start.
Yeah. Okay. So I went out. I actually chose a player that a lot of national pundits and Dolphins media folks are very excited about seeing, and that's Rene Kunga, the defensive lineman out of Louisville, I believe. I think I could see a scenario. We only carrying 4 defensive linemen on the roster right now. Right. We have Sealer, Grant, Phillips, and
Biggers.
Biggers.
Ziggy.
And I think I could see a scenario in which he's on the practice squad. We're battling injuries. They call him up for a game and he gets a start, right? I mean, that's just kind of I don't think he's a long-term starter. I don't think he's a regular starter, but if we had to pick somebody, I think due to injury, I could see him starting over any other UDFA.
Actually, I want to ask you a roster question about that in a
Yeah.
second, but remind me after I finish. But I have Lewis Moore here. I think you picked him most likely to make the team. I didn't pick him there because I think he's most likely to make a start.
Yeah, I can see it.
Safety room is certainly wide open. I mean, we got a guy coming from, I think, the Raiders who
Lonnie
if you're
Johnson.
coming from that. If you
Right.
couldn't get re-signed on that defense, what the hell are you doing? And Dante Trader Jr. showed flashes last year. I'm really pumped for him. 5th-round pick. If he keeps going, great. But I do think that there is a wide open competition for both starting positions at safety.
Yeah, agreed. That was going to be my first pick, but I already picked him, so I didn't want him twice. I could definitely. I'm a huge Lewis Moore. I wanted us to draft him. I'm super excited about that pickup.
Yeah. So the question I had is, do you think there's any chance that Zach Sealer gets traded in season?
Okay, good.
Here's why.
Yes, I think there's always a chance anyone can get traded, but
here's why. Yeah. When naming the people who are the pillars of the team, his name conveniently was left off that list. 30-something-year-old defensive tackle. We have 3 young defensive tackles under him. If Renee Conga ends up being something good,
yeah, I could
see it. Yeah, I mean, I could see a position where a competitor is like, "Yo, we need a defensive tackle. Is Sealer available?"
What I guess my question would be, for a player admittedly struggled last year with a bunch of rookies around him, where we talked about it a bunch, where he had to coach on the field right up as the ball was getting snapped and help these rookies figure it out. But a player coming off back-to-back 10+ sack seasons, the 2 years prior, what do you think he would garner? He's on a very reasonable contract. We just re-signed him 2 years ago, 2 off seasons ago.
Yeah. I think it depends who you're targeting. I'd be targeting the Rams and the Eagles. They're much more likely to give up higher draft capital. You might be able to get a 3rd from them, maybe a 4th. But if you're looking at a cheap team that's like maybe the Bengals come calling, they're not offering much, right? So I think
Yeah, I mean, unless you get a player for player swap, right? I wouldn't be overly enthusiastic about anything less than a 3rd, if I'm being honest, because I do think where he is past 30, I think he is such a good player. Yeah. But I would understand the logic of having a veteran in the room where it is very important up the middle of your defense. I think getting playing time in a year where we are rebuilding and the expectations are non-existent, I think makes a lot more sense to me, and get what you can for next draft. I'm not advocating for it, but I could certainly see it.
Wasn't part of the show, but just thought about it, so I threw it in there. The final class predictions, are you thinking just our rookie class or the entire rookie?
So our rookie class.
Okay, our rookie class.
This is all about Miami.
This is going to be our rookie class final predictions. Who has the best chance of our rookie class to make Rookie of the Year?
Jacob Rodriguez for me. I think he actually wins Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Like what about Rookie of the Year? Oh, right. There's an offensive and defensive. Is there just a one? Is there like a okay?
Nope. No, there's not like a rookie MVP. No, it's offensive and defensive. How about you?
Yeah, I can't disagree there, because our first overall pick, or our first pick, was an offensive lineman. They do not win Rookie of the Year. If Kyle Lewis ends up being like the Swiss Army knife that he looks like he could be, I could definitely see him being in the running. Otherwise, I agree. It's Jacob Rodriguez.
Sure. Yep. I'll be really curious to hear your thoughts about this one.
Well, this is defensive rookie. Let's do offensive first. What about your best offensive rookie? Now, the actual award, best offensive rookie, not who is going to be our best offensive rookie, but who has the best chance to win offensive rookie of the year?
Bro, I don't even know. That's tough. Probably. Oh God. Can I make an asterisk and say Chris Bell comes back from injury?
That's what I was going to say.
Okay. I think it would be Chris Bell if he's back from injury, but if we're taking it at face value today, I think Caleb Douglas has the best chance on our team, on our rookie roster, to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I just say that because I don't think you have to have a full rookie year to win that award.
It's all about numbers,
and
consistency. I think if he comes back and plays 12 games and he scores a touchdown in every other game and he's got 800 yards, I mean, I think I could see a possible, a scenario in which he's considered.
So we said that Jacob Rodriguez has the best chance to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Who is going to be our best defensive rookie, though?
Are we
Are they the same?
Well, are we count? No, I don't think they are, which is a fun conversation because I think if I'm looking at best defensive rookie, I'm looking at most impact, not necessarily biggest stat line.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is, I think that's, fuck, I don't know.
I think mine might surprise you, man.
I think mine's going to be Kyle Lewis, honestly, because I think if we're looking at straight impact, he's going to impact a lot of areas of the field, whether it's big, we talked about it, big nickel, rushing the passer, stretch seam linebacker, outside linebacker, might even play safety. I mean, he's just going to be, assuming he pans out the way we all think he's going to pan out, he's just going to impact so many phases of the game, not accounting for any kind of special teams contribution. So that would be my guess.
I was going to say Chris Johnson. I think if he can lock down one side of the field, man, like
I love it.
That's a huge contribution to a team that had no freaking corners last year. So yeah, I think Chris Johnson there.
Yeah,
who's your biggest sleeper?
Biggest sleeper? Oh boy, I think it's going to be. I'm going to say Trey Moore, the edge out of Texas. Yeah. Oh, and for you guys know, we didn't write these down, so this is in real time. It was a toss up for me between Kaczmarek and Moore were my two names, because I do think I loved it. Kaczmarek wasn't on my list, but after hearing you explain kind of the potential for the oohs and the ahs and becoming kind of the dirty, grimy, do all the nasty, dirty work that not a lot of players do, that makes you become a fan favorite. And I think, that the player feeds off of that kind of stuff. And I think, so it's a toss up between those two for me.
Yeah, I went Trey Moore as well. I just think, I mean, it's like beating a dead horse here. Another position that's wide open. Like the edge rusher room is wide open. And I think if Trey Moore has a 6-spin move and he can add one more move, you just have to add one more. If he can add one more move to his repertoire before the season starts, a rip or something like that, I just think he has a better than average chance to make an impact as a rookie.
I agree 100%.
Best value pick. Who's your best value pick here?
Oh, that's tough. What are we classifying as value pick? Talent versus position drafted?
Yeah, it could be anybody. I mean, if you think Kadyn Proctor is the best value because we took him at 12, I think John Eric Sullivan would actually say, then yeah. I think who is going to give us the biggest return on our investment compared to where they were drafted?
I think for me, it's a toss up between three players. It's Rodriguez, Bell, and Lewis, but I'm going to go with Rodriguez, even though I know he was a 2nd round pick. I think if he lives up to if he plays the way I think he's going to play, he is a transformative line. I mean, like, who's one of the best linebackers in the league, in your opinion? Warner from San Francisco, Fred Warner, right? Yeah. The one that makes like what's the guy from, JOK from Cleveland, Amusa Koromoa.
He's out for the season. Did you see that?
Right. Yeah, I know. But like when he's healthy, right? I mean, I think Jacob Rodriguez has that level of talent and range and ability and impacts the game. And that's honestly, I think when we look back in 4 or 5 years and he's getting the 2nd or 3rd highest paid linebacker contract, and they're like, well, I can't fucking believe he lasted in the 2nd round.
It's like, remember who we wanted last year? The Browns ended up taking Carson Swessinger. Remember?
Yeah, and we were like screaming for him. Yeah. I mean, that's Jacob Rodriguez, in my opinion. What about you?
I think this is going to sound stupid fucking crazy because I don't know that much about him, I'll be honest, but I'm so enamored with the potential, and that's Seydou Traore, man, the tight end.
Wow. Okay.
He's a 5th round flyer.
Yeah.
But he's 6'4", 235. He's going to probably play at 250 or somewhere around there. He reminds me so much of Darren Waller. Like, if he can actually become a decent tight end, we'll have a young potentially young Darren Waller or even Marcus Colston, I think is who I compared him to when we actually took him.
Yeah.
And that's such a huge steal in the 5th round. So I think, listen, there's a greater than not chance that he ends up being nothing and ends up on the practice squad for a couple years and then we forget about him, right? But if he hits, I think he's just such an incredible value, especially it's the tight ends are becoming such a huge part of offenses now. We've seen 2 years and 2 tight ends taken in the 1st round last year. We saw 1 taken in the 1st round this year. Like, I think next year we'll see even more. Like, the tight end is becoming a huge position in the NFL again. And if we can get a guy like that to actually hit, what a steal.
Well, do you think that having Greg Dulcich in the room sucking up the majority of the targets because he's going to be tight end 1?
Yeah.
And he is a very good tight end when he's on the field.
I don't think anything that happens this year is going to matter for him. I think Seydou needs a full year, if not 2, before he's ready. But, like, it all depends on how good of a learner he is, right? Like, if he can soak it all in, he can learn, he can keep making progress every day. You know, you and I like to pull the atomic habits 1% better every single day. If he can do that, like right now, he's maybe 35% NFL player. But if he does that by the end of year 2, he's 90% NFL player, and he's out there crushing it with his huge frame and his obvious mismatch.
Yeah, I think players like that really, it really is on the player. If he comes in, even though he, let's just say, and I don't know how these conversations go, but let's say the team makes it very clear, hey, you're basically redshirting a year. We're going to put you on the practice squad. We're going to stash you. We're going to develop you. We're going to get you in the weight room. We're going to work you with the strength and conditioning and speed coaches and receiving, get you on the jug machine, get you in the tight end room, and so on and so forth. If he can commit to wanting to be an NFL player coming from England, growing up a soccer player is what I think I heard him say, which makes sense coming from Europe, transitioning over to football because he kept growing and like the contact and like the violence of the sport, and played at Mississippi State, which is not a small school. I mean, that's not a small scrub school.
No.
It made an impact on the team. If he can commit, I could totally see it. I could totally see what you're saying.
Yeah. And like those are the guys I feel like who are the most committed, right? I mean, you change your entire career trajectory from playing European football to American football, and we saw it with Jordan Mailata with the Eagles. Like, he's committed to making that transition from rugby, and it took him a couple of years, but he did it.
Player, dude,
and now he's one of the best.
Yeah,
and I think, like you said, it's on the player, man. If he commits for 2 years, you're gonna probably suck, bro. But just give it everything you got. Soak it all in for 2 freaking years. And by year 3, you're going to be a rock star.
Yep. I could definitely see it.
All right. Last one. Most productive skill player.
I mean, I have to go Chris Bell. I have to.
So skill players we drafted and UDFAs, Caleb Douglas at wide receiver, Chris Bell at wide receiver, Will Kakmarek at tight end, Kevin Coleman Jr. at wide receiver, Seydou Traore, we just talked about, at tight end. And then UDFAs, we got Anthony Hankerson at running back, and Donovan McCulley, the converted quarterback, to wide receiver, and then Romello Brinson, the wide receiver.
Yeah. Who about you? What do you got? I think the easy pick here is Caleb Douglas, right?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Douglas. I really want to say Chris Bell. I just don't know how much he's going to – I honestly don't know how much Caleb Douglas is going to play either, but Douglas is going to be the field stretcher, right? Like, him and Tutu probably are going to be the field stretchers, and I just – they love him, dude. They love him.
They love him. Everyone is raving about this kid out of camp and out of that front office.
He's going to have every opportunity to be on that field week 1.
I mean, look, he's 6'3", 220 something, right? I mean, he's not a small dude.
No.
So
there you have it. So give us your predictions here. Let's go back to the previous segment. Most likely to start week 1, surprise fans, become a fan favorite, score their first rookie touchdown, lead rookies in sacks. Who has the best long-term upside? Who has the least long-term upside, essentially? Like, who's the roster bubble guys that may not even make the team? Who's your most likely year 2 breakout? you're most likely to get a second contract, and then jump over to the UDFAs. Who's the most likely to make a team? Who's the most likely to start? I know you guys are passionate about some of these players, so put them in the damn comments because we want to know more about some of them, because it's impossible for us to know all these guys intimately. It's like if you're a fan of Mississippi State and you've seen Traore play, like you're going to know way more about him than we do.
And change our minds, right? If you feel passionately about something, then you were like, there's no fucking way that Kevin Coleman's going to be the potential one that gets bubble cut.
Yeah.
Tell us why.
And for your final class predictions, give us your rookie of the year, offense and defense. Who has the best potential to hit that? Your best defensive rookie is this. We did that one because we took a lot of defensive rookies. So out of that group, who's going to be the best? Not statistically, just impactfully. Biggest sleeper, best value pick, and most productive skill players. There's a lot to throw in the comments, but just be part of the conversation. You don't have to answer all the questions, but we see you guys down there being passionate about players that you love. So let us know who you love on this list.
And not to cheese it. I'm sorry, Anthony, but we get genuinely excited and we text each other and we call each other. Oh my God, look at all the comments, dude. Like and we get on together and we read them together and we talk about them. So like really, we read and comment as much as we can, or we comment as much as we can, but I'm
a little behind on responding to your comments, but we read every single one. We've seen them all. So thank you for taking the time to comment. Thank you for getting us to 200 subscribers, by the way. We haven't even talked about that in this episode yet. 200 subs, huge. Our goal is 250 by August 11th. I think we're on a pretty good trajectory to get there. We need 50 more of you lovely people out there listening to us on YouTube to hit the subscribe button below, and then we'll get there. And we're going to give away a jersey when we do. So
and some other Dolphin swag. It's going to be a whole thing.
And you want a free jersey, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button down below. All right, Josh, another great episode. Rookie preview and predictions for the 2026 season, man. I cannot wait. I know we still have 3 months before we actually see any action, even more than that, 4 months. But I am jazzed for this class of rookies. There's so many of them. I can't wait to see how they make an impact.
Amen.
All right, for Josh, a.k.a. Aqua Ace, over here to my left, I'm Anthony Pinzone. This has been another episode of the 305 Gridiron. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you've made it all the way to this point. Until next time, fins up, baby.